Hello, welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. Last episode we went to the old Skyrimore, tried to chase after a Tartusio, but last episode he killed us in one hit with a fireball, so I was gonna go back and try to deal with it, but I feel like we should probably either go to this bandit camp or deal with this side quest down here, just try to get a bit of gear or level ups or something like that before we go back to Tartusio. So I feel like we should go to the camp, check it out at least. I went back, bought a lot more potions and stuff, got rid of my death store. The dexterity and strength damage. Didn't get rid of all of it, but it is what it is. Who are these folk? Tannic League's Mage. A group of well-armed fighters approaches one of them, risen with a voice pointing. Hey, you stop right there, Callahan. Look at this one. Will he do? This one, I suppose, but I don't like his snout. Listen, you trumps. We're here from the Tannic League. Our slave died and we need a replacement. One of you will be coming with us. The rest of you are free to go. I advise against resistance. It would be a good trick to kill every one of you. Choose now. Choose now that one you will give. What's the League? One very serious organisation from Numeria. People with whom you better not start a fight, and you better not bother foolish questions with. We're not taking anyone, so... Fuck slavers, so I'm gonna make them eat their own entrails.
Yeah!
Repent!
Tear them apart!
Unworthy.
Serves you right.
Try summoning and something, see what they're like.
Solid black!
You deserved it.
Could be worse. And will be. Definitely will be.
They go down!
Come on, Harm. Come on, me. Do damage, really? Fucking slavers.
What troubles you?
So there's slavers in the area, and we should track them
Don't
down.
hesitate.
That's right, I forgot I got her a bunch of potions.
The path is clear. Tread lightly.
Oh, wasn't expecting this. The insidious henchmen of the Anonymous Tanic League have disappeared into the thick wilderness of the mysterious stolen lands, but not for long. Soon we'll be upon them first, though we will have to pick up their trail to do that. Right, let's see. Go for Arcana. Good one, Lindsay, you failed it. Go for Nature. As I've written before, the Stolen Lands are mysterious, covered in a thicket. And not just any thicket, but a especially dense one. The henchmen of the Anonymous Panic League, who as recall are insidious, used this peculiar of landscape to cover their trail. We wandered into the forest for a long time and soaked our feet in the swamp and got scratches all over by wild raspberry. But at least we found our camp. Time for you slave scum to die. Did we find our camp?
I feel tired.
I suppose we have something in common, Sir Dwarf. In the past, we both served deities unworthy of our loyalty.
The difference is you never found a new faith or a new reason to live. I did.
Oh, where's our camp? Alright. Deal with these bandits first, if we can.
Let us be careful. The path is clear.
How curious.
Applause, please.
What a surprise.
Anything else?
I'll go ahead.
Bandits belonging pale. Together. Perception. Weighing for the Stag Lord. Don't you dare steal it, fools. I'll make sure you rot. That's poison the wind.
Let's head out.
Crystal, the dark-haired bandit, is kicking the ground irritably. When she sees you, she squares her shoulders and clenches her handaxe. Well, look who's here. Requires good. I'm looking for the Stag Lord's forces. Perhaps you're willing to help for a small reward. You really think I serve him for money? Enough talk. Die! Who would hope to find honor among thieves? It would be a pleasure to clasp his hand.
Victory!
Let us strike as one!
Your life ebbs low.
Let's summon a wee elemental to fight us. Help us fight.
Wretched things.
Do not falter!
Won't kill me! I'll survive. I always survive.
Forwards!
What a waste.
Esmond, Axel, yes!
Well,
Applause, please.
Spare man. You see a dark-haired man about 45. Those wrinkles on his face make him look 60 at first sight. He's currently a prisoner. Judging from his tied hands, he slouches a bit, squinting, short-sighted at the light. As he moves his lips, though speaking to someone invisible, he jerks his head up and he notices you. Praised Estrel, someone finally chased off those scoundrels. Thank you. Stranger, my name is Jahod Kavakem. I'm a priest of Estrel, Shringalt. Those bandits attacked me as I was crossing the river. They said they wanted to take me to their leader and make me heal their wounds. Not a chance. The strength granted me by Estrel is meant to help honest people, not robbers. Neutral good. I'm glad I could help. Oh, these times to be surprised to meet an honest man as to see as a manticore at a vegetable stall. Thank you for your help. I'm exhausted. My supply of prayers. But I'll gladly repay you in the future once I've restored my strength. Come to me if you ever need healed or blessed. I'm afraid that no fool like me won't be able to handle the mission given by Aristal. I don't know how to pronounce it. On my own. How can I search the temple when the bandits around here won't let me take a single stop? I'll head to Olag's trading post to rest. Think on what to do next, please, traveller. If you happen to discover the ruins of the temple of the Elk, come inform old Jahod. My gratitude will know no bounds.
The path is clear.
here I am. See?
Tread lightly.
That was dealt with. I'll keep going. Here it is, waterlogged lowland. We walked across the heath for a long time, yet no sight sprang up before our eyes. By turns we discovered a verdant lowland with several nearby springs streaming down behind another hillside. And then, in the distance, in the centre of the lowlands among the bush, there stood a single dry tree, a true giant. Its magnificent outline resembled an animal's paw, clawing at the sky. But what was the truly remarkable? The flat landscape was dotted by mysterious dark humps. They were piled about the head of a man and scattered around the abundance. We determined we should explore the lowlands. The further we trekked, the softer the land became. Step by step, the hypergraph gave way to moss, low-growing shrubs and ferns, then slushing puddles of a stinky swamp water. The muddy ground sucked our feet, and soon our party was jumping from Haskat to Haskat. Finally, we reached the first group of mysterious humps and learned they were no mere hills, but dugout dwellings. We moved with great care towards the centre of the lowlands, and there the real swamp began. On the way towards the mysterious giant tree, we saw a foggy outline of another hut. This one was much bigger, surrounded by small clay statues. Let's examine the dwellings. Inside the dugout was a frosty and dark and darker than holes. It was frosty and darker than holes, and filled with an absolute desolation. There was no windows, no mud walls, and these mud walls, no furniture or other homely items except for the odd pieces of tattered wicker. But every dwelling had a large hollow dug right in the centre of their floor, like a fire pit, but taking up a greater part of the space. They were filled with standing water and reeked beyond description. We moved with great care towards the centre of the lowlands and the real swamp. Oh, I already read this shit. We would not retreat and move ever forward towards the tall tree, determined to visit the big hut. We walked slowly, carefully, choosing our way, keeping to the dry ground as much as possible. But the further we went, the more difficult it became, and as soon as we were wading waist deep through cattails, frogs croaked loudly as we peered anxiously into the cloudy water, struggling to make of what the shadow fitted in the bottom. Suddenly, Jahel staggered and spit out an oath and flailed her arms. She made a wrong step, unable to pull out her foot, called out loudly. She began to sink into the vile green slush. Wary of one another, getting stuck into the bog, we decided to form a living chain, and standing next to each other, holding hands, we began to pull the fellow trailer. We shared her. Thought we lost her. The insatiable bog gurgled hungrily after us, but we didn't look back. Sodden and weary, we finally made it back to a solid ground, and the palace of sorts rose before our eyes. A suspicious hut made of mud, like the rest, but decorated with pebbles, bones, cattails, spikes, snail shells. In front of the palace was a wide, shallow reservoir. Its green water reflected the leaves of the huge farm, primitive clay figures. The buzzing of gnats was nearly deafening. We were not far from the centre of the swamp, and the farm and the steady path led there through the thick bushes. At its end, that tall, dry tree stretching mighty upwards, clawing at the fridgement. We will carefully examine the clay figures, trying to fathom who they may betray. Goggle eyes, flat heads with no necks, ears or chains, ugly long legs, unnaturally bent. These sculptures could only be the work of a Bogarts. Primitive, cruel Bogarts tribes had inhabited the swamps of Gurand and Avestan since the old days. Politeless to others and to each other, they were led by the darker instincts of the insane priest kings. They are known to grow young fry in the pools inside the houses. We peek inside. Receive short sword and leather armor. Cool. The palace was twice the height of the other huts, and its entrance was wide enough that three could walk abreast. The walls were decorated. An unknown builder had snatched the drawings in the clay. I scratched the drawings in the clay, not snatch. In the clay while it was still wet. The faded scrawl depicted a huge amphibious devouring smaller figures, some frog-headed, others not. 3 of the 4 rooms boasted large holes filled with water, just like the other dwellings, though here there was steps descending into them, cut into the dirt. It was the feathers room we found equipped decorating the walls, leather armor, spear, clubs. To our surprise, a number of items were well preserved. The hut was clearly deserted, so we felt no shame in taking some of it with us. We pushed forward. It was ever so lovely to walk once again along the well-trodden path. Our soaked clothes, imagine being dry. Our mood at once lifted. The bushes that bordered the path seemed to wave us amiably. With their juicy green leaves and shiny bright red berries, a fresh wind puffed away the rotten smell, and it finally felt like the swamp might be nearly behind us. But then the wind stopped blowing, and the thorny branches continued to move. We heard a loud shout. Jahal, who was watching our rear, pointed to the surging, crawling wall of green, filling in the path behind us. The surrounding thicket was coming to life. Its branches reached out with a soft swishing sound. Drops of sap oozed from the thorns, gleaming in the emerald dusk. The path was disappearing. There was no way back. The clear space ahead was closing. Well run. We failed. Alas, we were not quick enough. The green was closed around us. The branches grabbed our sleeves. The wicked thorns scratched our hands, and our faces burned with acidic sap. Roots tangled our feet. Our blood fell to the leaves, but with great effort we broke away. Jeez. Finally, after what seemed an endless trek, we came across a gigantic dry tree that intrigued us from the beginning. Lo and behold, we saw an idol cut into its trunk. A huge horned, 3-eyed toad, its googly eyes made it look like both cruel and dumb, almost idiotic. Its muzzle hung half open, sharp tooth with several hanging tongues. Deep brown streaks oozed from the corner of its mouth. We tried to glean what sort of the idol might be. Failed. Phil, never hand in here. Sadly, we failed to glean whom the idol was devoted to, but it was surely not one of the letter gods. But what is it? While we were examining the idol, a large bright blue dragonfly came out of the hollow of the tree and sat invitingly on the very tip of the nose. It was remarkably strange. It didn't react to our movement. It seemed quite content to remain here. Suddenly, Leafius grabbed the dragonfly and held it in front of his mouth. Oh gods, did he just decide to eat that? I heard a white crunch. I winced before I could look. I turned around. Hearing a faint cry, Leafius had turned white and started to collapse. We barely had time to catch him. After returning to life for a few hours, he told us an amazing things. He turned out that the Balkan's priest, 8 blue dragonfalls, fell into hypnotic trances where they could hear the will of the goddess, the demon lord Gonta, the creator of all Balkan kind. In the dreams, Leafius saw in ancient times of how the Balkans built their settlements and how they raided neighbours and enslaved their children. How they held bloody rituals to honour the bloated amphibian monster, the roar of their laughter throughout the dark centuries, and he saw the priest bury a stash of plundered jewellery in his hut rather than offering to the cruel goddess. In return, the wrathful Gogantian set horrible plague upon the trade, and the priest would be their last. We turned around to leave the amphibian swamp. The flesh-eating bugs grew quiet, gave way. On our journey back, we saw sure to look for the priest's hut and dig out the treasure. Interesting.
I feel tired.
Some food would be nice. And some booze. When I get to a tavern, I'll lock myself inside and won't come out until all the barrels are empty.
Yeah, Mary Hangover after it. I'll fight it since it just saved.
Enemy near.
Advance! Stay behind me!
Become as
Bring
dust.
I'm letting you out of our city.
Long ways for 2 bandits to go up against 6 people. Like. At least we're getting experience. Hopefully we'll level up and go kill that Tartusio rat.
I've spotted something.
What's that?
Applause, please. The corpse face is bloated from being in the water for so long. The stench from its toothless mouth is so foul that your eyes begin to water. The hand clenching a sinister looking spear, it's covered with scabs. Suddenly you feel faint as a cold wet hand is placed heavily on the top of your head. Wet hair sticks to the skin and trickles of icy cold water run down your face and shirt. Horse whispered Rez and said, "There you are." Jahal winces in disgust. "So it was you who sent me those nightmares?" Question mark. Gargling deep. Chest laughter pierces your skull, clouding your vision with flooding your ears. All else becomes muffled as if you were trapped underwater. You shake your head to cast off the aspiration. Who are you? David Nettle. How did you die? You see a vision of a lovely spring day. Sunbeam shine, worn against your cheeks. 3 men approach the house by the bridge, one of them wearing an antler helm, the Stag Lord, angry face, a quarrel, the glint of an unsheathed sword. Suddenly the Stag Lord greedy eyes are twisted by surprise. The master of the house has unleashed his hands. A burning smell stirs you awake. The sound of the loud barking flames are crawling up the walls. The sound of breaking glass, the bitter cold night air. You're outside the house, and something is wrong. An arrow strikes deep in your shoulder. You hear the guffwind of 10 throats. Guffon, I don't know how to pronounce it. You run, already in the middle of the bridge. The man with the antler helm cuts the ropes. An ear-splitting scream fills the air. What do you want me? What do you want from me? He wants me to kill the Stag Lord. Don't hate it. When someone asks you to do something you were going to do anyway, it makes me want to do nothing, just to spite them. Shut up, Lindsay. I was going to kill him anyway, so very well I should meet your vengeance upon the Stag Lord. The giant man who had been sitting motionless nods his head. Come later, take spear.
Let us be careful.
My search was not in vain.
Let's check out this place. Oh, we quick save.
I'll go ahead.
Dead man up here. Hold on, okay. Check out over here first before I continue.
The path is clear.
Yep, nothing. Oh. Quick save.
Unworthy.
Watch each other.
I'm gonna assume I'll probably can't kill this
I
thing.
require healing.
Lord, at last.
Over.
This is where I step
I'm gonna assume I'm not supposed to be here yet. Or, I guess I shouldn't be fighting it.
I'll go ahead.
Let's check out this wee hill. Ratnook Hill. That's where Tartusio should live. Because he's our rat.
The path is clear.
How curious.
Applause, please.
What a surprise.
What troubles you? Anything else?
Tread lightly.
How curious.
Applause, please.
What's that?
I failed. I'm sorry.
My
Anything
God.
is possible.
Who will prevail? Does
A
it
werewolf.
Require healing. Learn from me.
Unworthy.
could be worse?
Kill me. This body holds this can't be over.
Always survive.
Please.
I can't remember you.
Serves you well.
Survive. I always survive.
You can kill by werewolves. It seems a bit weird.
Last chapter.
Not gonna lie there. I just really suck at this game.
I'll go ahead.
How curious.
Try it one more. And if I die again, I'll leave.
The path is clear.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
Tear them apart! I always survive.
Could be worse. Lost.
Solid plan. I require
This
healing.
body holds no.
Let us strike as one!
Lost.
I can't keep this up anyway.
Why don't these die? Are they even taking damage?
My search was not in vain.
Applause, please.
Oh, I don't like surprises.
What's
I
that?
wrote it like I saw it.
You have my attention.
I failed. I'm sorry. Anything else?
State your desire.
It's just not
I
my
will
lucky
grant
day.
your request.
I'll go ahead.
I'm gonna go back here.
Tread lightly.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
I guess we should rest.
I'm looking at our gang, and I'm wondering, how the hell are we still alive yet? Everyone's so smart, it makes me sick. Writing smart books. Fancy prayers to the gods. I only punch first and then sort it out. I guess that's why we're still alive.
To victory!
Last crack.
Let us be careful. The path is clear.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
Enemy near.
I'm writing you out of our story.
The search was not in vain.
I'll go ahead. Let's head out.
Ally, come join us.
The path is clear.
The hoist is missing a piece.
Tread lightly. Let us be careful.
You cannot stand against me. Yeah.
I'll go ahead. The path is clear.
But I swore I was already here.
Let's head out.
What's that?
Tread lightly.
I guess we should try killing Tartusio again. Let's see how well this goes. If I can remember how to get to him.
I'll go ahead. Let us be careful. The path is clear. Tread lightly.
Okay. We're back here to the Queen, is it? Oh yes, he's over here. Oh my god. We already talked to these inside, so...
Let's head out.
Oh, I thought we could open this last time. I'm so confused.
I'll go ahead.
My car will let you door, but need relic door 2. 1 have purple head, whereas second
is clear.
Oh, fuck. Can I get rid of the relic or something? Is that what happened? Oh. Guess I have to go back to Oleg's again. Whatever it is I need better be up at Oleg's, like.
I feel tired.
Oh, I didn't realize I found a ring.
Let us be careful. Tread lightly.
Found your ring, Svetlana. Cressel the bandit, the woman who had it, tried to kill me and died in the fit. Sighs bitterly. I suppose I should tell you the truth about her. Kessel wasn't her real name. Her real name was Irina. Before all this, she was the daughter of my mother. Wait, what? She was the daughter of my mother and her second husband, my half-sister. I can't help but feel like everything that happened to her was my fault. She always had her wildness to her. She wandered the streets, hanging out with a bad crowd until the day she passed. Mother complained about Irina constantly back then. It was just cruel games and strange escapades. She never really hurt anyone back in Restov. Her father didn't live much longer than our mother, so I decided to try help Irina. I brought her here to the Stonelands, though Oleg was against it. And once here, she immediately fell under the Stag Lord's influence. She never even needed to meet him. The stories and rumors from the local hunters and bandits were enough to win her over. She would tell us how he was a real leader, unlike rest-off softies. Eventually she ran away, only to return under a new name with a pack of thugs to collect taxes from us. What's worse, she participated in the torture and execution of prisoners alongside the Stag Lord's minions. And now, meeting such an end, I realise I did what you had to. Perhaps it was all for the best, but still I wonder if everything could have turned out differently. Svetlana lifts her head. Thank you for returning my ring. I truly appreciate it. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a little while. I'll just bring it all with me, but did I accidentally sell it? Just saying, like, you shouldn't be able to sell fucking items you need for a quest. Maybe that's Manor's lever. Well, no. I don't know. I really hope he just doesn't somehow kill me in one hit with a fucking fireball again.
The path is clear.
See if there's any potions and stuff like that we can preemptively drink. Restoration, don't need that. Resist the cold. Nope, resist acid. Remove blindness. Potion of aid. Enlarge person. Mage armor. Oh, I guess some mage armor might work. Guess what we'll have to do.
I'll go ahead.
Oh, my impromptu rival. You are late, as always. A little advice? Never join any races. Speed is just not for you.
I already know what's gonna happen, so I might as well just attack.
We will prevail.
Play, come on, Dave.
This body holds no more. Assist me or lose me. Survive. I always survive. Unworthy.
Miserable.
Come on, kill him. Yes. Her shield. I'm just dead.
I require healing.
Ebbs low.
We're on death's door.
Let us bide our time.
Tartusio, the scum is dead. You promise, find truth. Open soon. You find shaman. Tell truth. Tarktuk deceived everyone. It was he who stole the Sagamore branch from the kobolds in the make war of the mates. He attacked me and he was killed, and I possessed both branches. Treacherous treason. I knew Purple Hay traitor. I'll give the branches back, both of them. Much blood is shed. Not easy forget, but we struggle. No might do evil deeds again. You, friend, welcome guest always. Was much death, hard forget bad blood, but I wise queen, find other way. No kill kobold, no more. Ally, you brave and fair. Be our guest, precious now always.
Let's head out.
We will probably be back here at some point. I don't know. I deal with them skeletons that fucked us up before. Time to go back to Oleg's. Tell that man that we killed the spy.
The path is clear.
What a sorry spectacle. The treacherous servant of a treacherous king, who in his turn is mere servant to even greater powers. He impersonates a lesser creature and dies. A good joke is a powerful weapon, and a bad one can seal the Joker's fate. A good joke is a powerful weapon.
Okay, what's up with this?
Can seal the Joker's fate. A good joke, so be it. Rise, my unfortunate jester. Your performance is not over yet. So be it. Rise, my unfortunate jester.
Come on now.
Your performance is not over yet.
Thought all these bugs would be taken out by now.
Tread lightly.
explore the rest of this area. I think the wolf is in here. I don't think I'll be able to deal with it, but we can try.
I'll go ahead.
What for Golem?
There we go, some moves.
How curious.
The path is clear. I feel tired.
What a surprise.
And then our leader charged forwards. Hey, wait for me.
Something. Let's head out.
I'm hungry. When we stop.
If I remember correctly, this is where the wolf. Our
Moss
quest is.
Tread lightly.
fades.
The piece before you is unusually large, and its eyes are especially angry, menacing grin might almost be taken for a smirk. Greeting, traveller. Before you draw your weapons, I wish to say I see no reason for feuding between us. May even be some use to each other. Well, why is this wolf talking? Is it magical or something? I'm no wolf, female. I'm a warg. Surprising you could live your age without learning the difference. Well, it's never too late to teach a lesson to an insolent two-legged morsel. Who you call a morsel, you pilt? You say we could be useful to each other? Bring me someone delicious. 3 or 4 bodies will be enough, and I will say, as a sign of gratitude, I will tell you where the old traveller buried his chest. An old traveller, you say? A very old, lean and flavourless traveller. Fan. Who are you? You call me Garkuth. I've lived here for far longer than the rulers of these foolish tribes. I've seen much more and eaten more. What do you know of the war between the kobolds and the moots? Only that my pack enjoys it. Of course, I've only eaten fresh meat.
The path is clear.
I'm going to assume you send the kobolds and the mates up. Tell them it's fine. Kobolds go up, you get eaten. I don't care about them. I'm a blight druid. Oh!
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
I'll go ahead.
Is this thing killable? I'm assuming this big monster killed it.
I failed. I'm
Lie
sorry.
down for a moment.
Well, yes, it's time to rest. You better cook us a meal.
Too bad I don't know how to paint. I'd like to draw you. Maybe a portrait or a caricature?
That's something new. I don't think anyone has ever drawn a caricature of me before. Though I think that's for the best.
The path is clear.
The warrior's dead. Go see for yourself. No, we not go.
The road awaits.
I guess that's
Tread
up.
lightly. Let's head out. A solid plan. Watch each other. Forwards. I'll go ahead.
Failed.
I
This
require
body
healing.
holds no more.
Just be easier to rest again. To heal up, you know. Can anyone else cook? 'Cause you're fucking useless.
Five to five already? Or still 4 to 5?
I won 4 times. You won 5. A good day for sparring.
By the time we've got a meal.
The path is clear.
I assume that's where the wolf is going to tell me where the treasure is or something.
Let us be careful.
Let's go home. Let's try to avoid it for now. Evade. Fight this one.
Be careful, everyone.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
We should gather our
Tread lightly. I shall keep it for someone else. Someone else should use it. Someone else should use it. The path is clear.
I failed to capture Tartusio alive. He attacked me and was killed.
Well, this is not the best outcome, but I think it will be good enough for Jamandi. Take this as a reward for your help. I'll send word to Restov and let them consider how they might return the favor. Once again, I thank you for your help. I'll remain here until my men recover from their wounds. Meanwhile, we'll help guard the trading post and fight off any bandits should they return. Good luck.
A few conversations with people here. Oh, here's his brother, dude.
How may I serve you?
Need help with a cleric. Okay, he has a lot of scrolls. Don't need them right now.
How may I serve you?
What services do you offer? I can sell you various defense spell scrolls. They're quite useful even if you don't have anyone in your party who can read them. Whether you're in a settlement or indeed any place with a cleric willing to help, you only need to open your bag and choose the scroll you wish to cast. I'll help you read it for you. However, take care out there. In the wilderness, a scroll is useless without someone who can read it. To use a scroll in your journey, you need a spellcaster. Cool. Tell me about the vision that led you to the temple.
That's why I'm here. Find the Temple of the Elk. I've pieced together its location from what I can remember of my visions. I have a rough idea of where to look for the sanctuary, somewhere in the North Nile marshes. However, I don't possess the strength to walk this path myself. Do not reject my plea, good traveler, and I'll repay you as best I can. In these dark times, people rarely help each other without compensation. May Erastil forgive us all. But I am sure my healing abilities will be useful to you. How may I serve you?
Tell me about yourself.
What exactly would you like to know? My story? Why not? You deserve to know it. I am a priest of Erastil, and Galt is my homeland. You can imagine what it's like following the teachings of the stag god in a realm torn by discord and strife. Rebellion and suspicion are the pillars of Galt. Led by Erastil, I tried to guide my flock to embrace tranquility and balance and guard them from hasty judgment, until I fell from grace myself. Foolish, foolish old Jod. My misdeeds cast a shadow over my life and service. In search of redemption and a balm for my soul, I took to the road. I had come nearly to despair when Erastil sent me a vision of the Temple of the Elk. I knew that very moment that the stag god had shown me the way to redemption.
What did you do to anger Astral?
Well, if you truly wish to know, I'll have to start from a long time back. Werewolves preyed upon the lands around my village. They murdered people for fun or sport and left the corpses to rot on the roads. One night, they broke into a young woman's house and dragged her into the streets. One evening, a traveler came to our tavern, tattered and dirty from days on the road, like so many others roaming Galt. He sat quietly in the corner of the tavern, drinking cheap ale, and in an instant, I knew he was a werewolf. I felt it in my soul. It was like Erastil himself had whispered it into my ear. Led by Providence, I left to gather my flock, and we surrounded the tavern. The retribution was swift. However, I was tragically mistaken. The young man was no werewolf. He was a bandit, sent to spy on the village by one of the local gangs. We only found out after, when we went through his things.
You still saved the town from another danger, did you not?
That's still no excuse for my actions. I was a fool. I made a grave mistake. And what's worse, in the eyes of my flock, I cast doubt on Erastil's greatness. A priest who can barely hear the voice of his god is a disgrace to his lord and himself, and corrupts the very people he would save. Whatever the case, I knew Erastil was no longer pleased with me. It was terrifying. Imagine how my mind raced when here in the Stolen Lands I heard the voice of the stag god once again. He gave me another chance at service to atone for my guilt. Now I have regained hope, and that very hope is my most precious possession.
That's enough
As
for
you
now.
wish.
I'll go ahead.
Speak. I'd like to hear your story. Stories, Jahal shrugs. Stories are born and a waste of time. I've killed. I was exiled from Keon. I died. I was raised by Uragrath's gifts, and that is my story. Who were you before you were exiled? It's rather amusing. I belonged to a wealthy family and held high position on the courts of Idaria, the capital of Keon. Kakuin. When my little wrongdoings were revealed, the trial was held in the very same court where I tried cases that delivered sentences over several hundred years. An awkward situation, don't you think? Who did you kill and why? Family 4, Jahal Force is calm and ordinary if she was speaking to something truly. But why? Is a more interesting question. What is worth the thousands of years if you can't enjoy it? Like your first 10 dozen springs? Everyone considers elves ever young, but our youthfulness is but a mask. A threadbare ritual gown. What lies underneath the dust of years and a jaded repetition. With each year, the dust grows thicker and erstwhile joy cease to excite and to cloy as a dish you've tasted 1,000 times. Long did I search for a new way to avert the fate. Don't I? Who has truly tasted life deserve a better lot than those benumbed old elves who close themselves to the world. And I found a way in the ancient texts of Uragrath, a ritual involving the blood of my kin, a trough that would make each day feel as a holiday. Created especially for me, the ritual gave me strength, not only to my body, but my mind and my soul. My mind whirled at every sensation, every sip of wine or silken carcass. Oh, I missed this. My cousin was the first I used it for the ritual. It was simple matter to pass her death as an unfortunate accident, but the enchantment would not last. I had to find another, and again concealed my trail. With the third death of my family grew suspicious. Upon the fourth, my deeds were finally revealed, such as pity. If not for this, my own life, even now, would overflow with burning pleasure, for I have dozens of useless relatives. I hope you suffer for your punishment. Did you kill innocent elves for entertainment and pleasure? That's Avellone. I'm not the judge for your past deeds. Fair, judge me for my present form, and better yet, for the benefits we could provide each other. It's enough talking for now. Greetings. Greetings, Valerie says. Everything is well, I hope. I'm ready for new orders. Tell me about yourself. What exactly would you like to know? I was born in a noble family, though I didn't remain long on the family's estate. My father sent me to the Order of Ethereal Rose, but I left once I realised that I didn't match my principles. Where are you from? What was your childhood like? I was born in Breviary, but in fact I never seen much of the country. I spent my childhood on a remote estate owned by a noble family. My father is a respectable philanthropist, a benefactor of the Church of Shellin. He also a renowned private collector of great and rare arts. My mother saw the education. Personally, from my early years, I learned good manners, how to behave at the dinner table, and proper form of words for each occasion. I learned the difference between the true nobles and lowborn upstarts, and I learned how to treat each of them properly. Our home was always under the protection of several paladins of Shelly, and my father donated a handsome sum to the order. One of them, a man of venerable age with a grey beard, once let me touch his shining armour. I still remember the admiration I felt when I touched the cold polished steel. Of all the memories of my childhood, that is somehow the warmest one. Why were you sent to the paladin if it were? You can see, as you can imagine, from my first day I was surrounded by cards of servants and nannies who never stopped praising my heavenly beauty. The paladin Shellin used to visit our house echoes these praise. In the end, general consensus overwhelmed my father better judgment. When I turned 6, I was brought to the church of Shellin and told that it would be my new home. Don't pity me though, I beg you. Many who hear my story immediately assumed that my parents were cruel and no love for the child. My parents had respect for me. They taught me something that supported me in my life, a sense of self-esteem. Besides, they didn't abandon me. Once every 6 months they would come and visit the Order of the Ethereal Rose. We had tea and then an hour walk around the garden, and then they would take their leave, as etiquette demanded. That's cool, let's change the subject. Thank you for the conversation, we'll talk later.
Let's head out.
Yeah, what is it? Is it you, Leafius? Did I startle you? I'm sorry. Oh no, that doesn't matter. I was just contemplating the futility of existence and the worthlessness of the universe. The way that Grutus are great. My humble mortal mind cannot fully grasp them. But I do what I want. I do what I can. Tell me about your past. My life is divided into 2 parts. The first was filled with blind wandering doubts and attempts to serve Torag. The second part was whenever I accepted Grutus into my soul and received a clear vision of the world. What exactly would you like to know? Where are you from? My life story began in Larn, the city of the dwarf clerics and acolytes. They served Torag and other dwarven gods. Torag brothers Anagard and Margan, Torag's wife Forgrit, his daughter Bolek, and his sons Grundanir, Cols, and Trud. And also Torag's sister, sorry, you don't need to tell me everybody's name, Dangavid. I wouldn't be surprised if they built a temple to Torag's pet dog. Sorry, let myself get carried away. Larn is the second largest dwarven city of the 5 Kingdom Mountains. It's built upon numerous temples, cars, which serves places of worship for all the dwarven gods. Many pilgrims for every corner of Gularan come to Larn to pray for the gods. Some remain to live there. The city is simply imbued with faith. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a cleric. It's no surprise. Inspired by the aura of the city that I decided to embody to dedicate my life to becoming a cleric of Torag. You once tried to serve him? Not just tried, it was a burning passion I craved day and dreamt in the night. You see, Leafius, my first days I felt the presence of the god at my back. I heard the whispers, I felt the power through the nature, unclear to me. I thought Torag himself was trying to speak to me, and I did all I could to understand his words. Oh, what a naive fool I was. I had no idea Torag was the uncompromising conceit god glamorized by all dwarves. With capable betrayal, he turned away from me, Leafius. He left me in the hour whenever I put all my hopes in him and desperately needed his support. Torag is the god of craftsmanship, so every follower, especially the clerics, must smith their own suit of armour. The day when this work is finished, it's like a second birthday for a dwarf, a newly born in the eyes of Torag. My second birthday never came. I couldn't make armour, not even a sword, not even a simple nail. My hammer was smashed in my fingers and fell to my feet. Molten iron burned my hands. The clerics laughed as they healed me. They used to say I was cursed by Torag, so I finally gave up and attempted to please the betrayer god. Let's talk about something else. That's good enough for me. Time to go to sleep.
path is clear.
Go here and
I feel tired.
search for clues. That's completed. Do I need to be here searching for clues or what?
Tread lightly. Let us be careful. I'll go ahead.
What's this? Examine the old hut that the Stag Lord is entered. Now we know the location of an old hut that the Stag Lord wanted to destroy for some reason. We're going there to find out a way to fight the enchant the fog.
The path is clear.
To arms!
Aim carefully.
No, I'd rather have him have a shield for him.
Let's head out. We should prepare. Tread lightly. The path is clear.
Well,
I feel tired.
Unbelievable. A war between kobolds and mites. You can't read about that in a book.
I guess you haven't spent much time in libraries. There is one Kadiran novel, on the whole rather frivolous, I must say, where kobolds and mites not only fight, but do a few other things as well.
I forgot that is old abandoned house. You're here, please follow.
I'll go ahead.
Father, please look for the herbs you asked for. Just weren't enough. Silence, did you forget the rules? You speak when I say, you do as I say. Disobedience leads to punishment. But Father! 3 times! Acid splash. Enough, I can't. Enough.
Let us be careful.
My search was not
In vain.
To victory! Let us strike as one!
Hopefully I don't die here.
Advance!
Tear them apart!
The path is clear.
Oh, I don't like surprises.
Oh.
Tread lightly.
Where have you been? I told you to prepare everything for the ritual. You will never give me orders again. What? Well then, summon your power, or maybe you'll like to try the acid. I'm not your slave any longer. Not your toy. And I'm not your bootlick. Not your son. Enough, I won't kill you. Your powers will be use of me from now on. You will do as I speak when I say disobedience is something.
Applause, please.
Let's head out.
I have been waiting for you. The flowers,
Frick,
birds,
light her
and
on fire!
wolves told me you would come.
Rye Mustang just flicker.
Oh, my poor flowers. They will perish before long in this bog.
Not many have heard a voice from above, and fewer still are those who followed it to a positive outcome.
Yes, yes. The soil, water, and stones here are infused with toxic pain and fear. They poison this place as we speak. You have seen where your enemy's journey began. The one called Stag Lord was once the victim of a cruel madman, and has since become one himself. You see now how monsters are born. But what comes of regret for a thing you cannot change? There is no time to be lost. We must do away with the fog quickly.
Tell me what to do next.
Search the area around the hut. Try to find anything that remained of the druid who lived here. I am sure the fog is his doing. This suffocating veil is as vicious as his nature. We should learn more about the fog and the ritual through which it was created. Return to me if you find anything. The past may hide the answers that shape the future.
Tell me more about yourself. I would like to know my all out.
Do you really wish to know? Fine. I'll tell you a fairy tale. Once upon a time, there lived a young nymph. She lived in an enchanted forest, where 1,000 birds sung day and night, where the sun often left a spark or two hanging in the tree crowns, and where the starlight fell on sleepy glades like a glowing soft haze. The young nymph loved simple things, like sitting by the stream with her friends, braiding each other's hair and adorning their braids with crystals made of dew, or watching the flowers blooming. But inside her soul, the young nymph dreamed of something more. Oh, dreams. Nothing in any world can live without them. Even a seed that falls in fertile soil cannot sprout without the dream of the sun. The same was true for our nymph. She wished to turn her enchanted forest into a true fairy tale kingdom and fill it with thousands of wonders. But plans so ambitious rarely go unnoticed by greater powers.
You're a liar!
Those greater powers decided to punish the nymph for her boldness. They sent a horrible monster to poison the enchanted forest and kill the singing birds. The nymph was forced to flee, and finally she found shelter here in the stolen lands. Here she hoped to sprout the seeds of a new dream, even as she mourned the dream she'd lost. But then the magic mist appeared, killing everything that lived. And the nymph cast about, desperately searching for help. So far, these are the fairy tale's final words. But I hope this is not the end. Just yet. One day, perhaps I will tell you more. But it doesn't matter now. We need to concentrate on the problems at our doorstep. The Stag Lord, the druid, the mist. I will be waiting.
I'll go ahead.
You see that? What's that?
You come again. Did you find something?
For the druid's notes, they mention a temple of elk. Can this help?
An ancient temple. The temple of the stag god. Yes, that must be it. The place of power where the druid created the fog. Perhaps we'll be able to cleanse it from there. The temple hides in the thicket not far from here.
Did you give a vision?
You'll need to go there and purge the place of whatever evil still lingers there, summoned by the druid's sinister ritual. Take care. You are my only hope.
100%. She's the one to give the vision to that wee priest man.
The path is clear.
Do we know the location of the temple? Yeah, we do. yeah, I'm just gonna save it here and leave it for next time. Next time we'll play, we'll go. If we can, we'll deal with the league, and then go to the temple. So, yeah, we might do this after the temple as well, or before the temple. I'm not sure. I can't remember if we're high enough level to actually deal with it. But anyway, till next time.